Welcome back to part 2 of this mini-series on how to discover and embody your unique blueprint for brilliance. I'm Josephine Saucier, and today I would like to introduce you to the concept of triality and how to use advanced astrology to help you ignite your potential. The energies of the old world timelines are dying off. Duality has been governed by our conditioning and thinking for centuries, where we believe everything comes in pairs. In order for something to exist, the opposite must also exist. And everything has been separated. What if we required a third layer, as it were, that there's a constant and essential for something to exist? The essence of consciousness itself. Things come into existence as consciousness witnesses itself into being. This is quantum physics 101. The term triality describes the new higher frequency energy template. Some may refer to it as ascension energies, though few have a real understanding or experience of them, getting stuck at 5D, not feeling into the realms beyond. But hey, the universe just is. It is neutral. There is no good or bad, right or wrong. It allows for the concept of the sliding scale between one frequency and the next, or rather a spiral. It is the layer of the observer. For us to move into a new state of being, we must individually embody and integrate these energies available to us through the awakening and encoding of our DNA, so we can become merged with Source itself. We witness ourselves into being because we are consciousness. The purpose of life is to realize the access and potentiality we have through our own frequencies, all of our frequencies beyond duality, beyond this reality. So this means fully accepting without judgment the light and the so-called dark within us, the masculine and feminine aspects we all hold, the past and future lifetimes and other realities, merging them with the here and now. I use my term portalism to describe this. And it's time to bring together that union of your heart and your mind, embodying your individuation as the sovereign being that you are. Merging your higher self with this reality as ending separation and duality. We also have complete free will and self-responsibility to choose the level of frequency and how we show up in life. It is imperative we bring into our awareness exactly all modes of operation, beliefs and thoughts that we hold. Know what the catch points of trickiness are in our personalities, the shadow aspects, and learn where the pathway to our own brilliance through our gifts into genius really lies. All of this is encoded and can be read as a blueprint through the human design and gene keys, as I've previously discussed. Very simply put, Richard Rudd, author of the Gene Keys, offers us a path from shadow to Siddhi, the ultimate state of enlightenment or endowment, via your gift. The basis of human design and gene keys is the astrology at the moment you were born. Now, has it occurred to you that out of the 12 planets used in analysis or any main astrology chart, even if you don't know human design, only the moon and Venus are regarded as feminine? Does this not seem a little out of balance to you? Perhaps distorted by the male-oriented point of view that was developed with Western astrology. What if the asteroids, which are generally named after female goddesses and have only been discovered in more recent years, have a major role to play in the energetic pairing with the masculine planets? Consciousness always brings into our awareness what we are ready for. For 4 centuries, the planets and their archetypes have been considered to rule our solar system, just as they did in the myths and philosophies of old, based on the male counterparts. The tide is turning, And now we must reintroduce the power of the dark feminine asteroids and goddesses to bring the world back into balance, to bring yourself back into cohesion, into triality with your own divine self, so that you can exist in that unity within you as the spark of individuation that you are. I've been teaching for the last 4 years or so about moving away from the regurgitated teachings of the light grid into the power of the dark feminine. When both aspects work in union within you, you finally start operating through synthesis, synchronicity within the flow of life itself. Like all initiations back into the truth of who you are, there are stages that you must transverse to peel back the layers of illusion, to unburden the shackles of conditioning and return into your initial, raw, vulnerable self. It is only from that point can the higher frequencies and the deeper mysteries be revealed and embodied within you. That's why it's imperative when following the roadmap of your DNA blueprint back home to your heart that you first understand how you show up in this reality through the mapping of your personal astrology based on the planets you're familiar with. What's not been taught are the nuances, the dark, pure, and light energies within the gifts and siddhis. Without getting hung up on labels, is this one masculine, is this one feminine? When you learn to discern the essence of each of them, how it shows up in your being or doing, that's when you really start playing and living from the space of your higher self. Your dark masculine and feminine, the versions of you which have not been seen on the light grid before, the powerful, innate authority that's within you, letting go of what others think when you live through the energy of your Siddhi. And this is the biggest point of difference in what I will be bringing forward through the activations of each of the gene keys in the gateway, in the theatre of art within my inner sanctum through 2023. So even if you know your own mapping, perhaps you are intrigued to explore another dimension of self, another perspective of embodiment, through the aspects of the dark grid which lay beyond this reality and this timeline. Once you have gained that knowledge, insight, and wisdom, and ignited the integration of your body, mind, and soul, you will then be able to access the potency waiting for you within the asteroid pairings. Remember, there is nowhere to get. There is no right or wrong. It's just the point at which you choose to be. How open are you in your awareness to dissolve the false limitations of your life so far? I fundamentally believe this is where your siddhis, your genius comes alive. The frequency beyond your gift. The state of being beyond the light grid, beyond this reality. The next scale of frequency. The place and space beyond time that becomes the playground for my clients when they learn to pull something out of nothing, as the alchemists they are. That space of freedom, liberation, joy, and expansion. The cosmos witnessing itself into being through the vessel of yourself. The dark space that most are terrified of, simply through their conditioning, without realizing the infinite potential that is held there, waiting to be encoded and igniting once again in your DNA. I know that by following the pathway through your human design and gene keys and into the world of the asteroid gates themselves, a new dimension of potentiality is thrown open to you. Evolve into the mystery of life itself. You cannot think your way through this. You cannot be taught it. You must learn to be it, to contemplate, to discern, to dissolve and shift your frequency up that scale of brilliance so you can be both the light and the dark. The purest, lightest light that is the void of the universe itself, one that we have been taught to avoid at all costs, and yet your freedom lies within. The new timeline is insistent you walk through the fear of the unknown and into the dark. There is nothing to be scared of. That's simply your conditioning, or more precisely, lifetimes of persecution where you went against the grain. With the death of duality, such control no longer has its hold over you. Rise up into the sovereign soul self, all aspects of you, with your authenticity, your innate power and wisdom switched on. Allow your DNA blueprint to open the doors. Yet I invite you to take a little known secret passageway beyond the gateway into these hidden aspects of self. These will only be fully available to you once you've taken ownership of your own journey through the gateway and walked the wheel of the I Ching, whether that be with me or not. Know thyself first. And then it's time to integrate the dark feminine aspects of your soul that have been ignored and left out until now. Is that not a true representation of society? Are we not waiting for the feminine rising? And when she does, will she be ready to join in the union with the high masculine, with your mastery of the light grid, of this reality, to finally come back into balance? Then you start opening to new dimensions, new frequencies, and you start to travel home to your own realms to claim what lies there for you. For the asteroids are the stepping stones to these higher realms. I'm planting these seeds now to take you on the next step of the journey through each of the pairings or marriages, to use the Greek myths, between the planets and the asteroids. So the trinity within you, your masculine, feminine, and higher self, can finally dance in the essence of your fullest life. It's the part of you that's been missing, that you keep seeking. Claim it and embody it, and end your incessant search. If this lights you up and sparks your level of potentiality, then I invite you to join me in the Gateway in 2023, so you can first learn the structure in this reality. Perhaps if you're already well versed in the nuances of human design and gene keys, you may still be intrigued as to what can be activated within the insight of the light and dark beyond this reality you know so well. Otherwise, you may choose to wait my offer to be your mystic Sherpa through your higher realms, where I encode and transmute your DNA for the complete embodiment of your soul fragments that are calling to you, the essence of your dark feminine, the goddess energies. As another option for those ready to fast track, whose calling is bellowing in their ears, you'll choose the path of the one-to-one initiation with me. Life is a journey. Let it be filled with fascinating wonderment. Take a new perspective, look through a different lens, and get on board with the new timeline of that triality now, whilst we wait for the rest of humanity to either catch up or fall off the cliff. For you are required to be a legacy leader in this field. We need mastheads of frequency like you. And it is time for you to understand the precise path you have been coded for. It is time. I welcome you on this journey. I look forward to seeing you for part 3, the final part of this mini-series, where I'm going to welcome you into the theatre of art. All will be revealed. Until then.